Alright, in this video we're going to look at using the midpoint formula. And the midpoint formula is used to determine the coordinates of the point in the exact middle of two other points. That makes sense? And let's look at an example. So we want to find the coordinates of the midpoint, which we'll call point M, of points A, which has coordinates of 5 and -7, and B, which has coordinates of -9 and 3. So I'm going to start by plotting those 2 points. So 5, -7. So point A is going to be right here. And I'm going to label it as well. It makes it a little bit easier as we go through. And point B, -9, +3. And again, I'll label this point. So we want to find out what are the coordinates of the point that's exactly halfway between these two. So it should be somewhere in this area here. So let's take a look at our midpoint formula. So our midpoint formula looks like this. It looks a little bit weird, but all it's doing is saying we need to look at the x-coordinate, and we're going to look at the y-coordinate. The brackets are, again, just referring to it. It'll end up being the coordinates of our midpoint. And we're just going to add together the x-coordinate of point A and the x-coordinate of point B, and then divide by 2. It just means we're taking the average of our x-coordinates, and then same idea, we're taking the average of our y-coordinates. And the reason this works is that when we look at a diagonal motion, it's usually easy to break it up into a horizontal component, or left and right, and then a vertical component, or up and down. And the reason that we're averaging them is, well, we don't want to go all the way to the left. I'm only going to go half the way to the left. And again, I don't want to go all the way up. I'm only going to go half the way up. So it's basically saying, well, what will the coordinates of that new point be? And if we look at the XA and the XB, sometimes those A's and B's mess people up. But all it's referring to here is if we said this is point A, then its coordinates we could write as XA and YA. And if this is point B, or a second point, it would have coordinates of XB and YB. And once we label it like that, it makes it pretty easy to fill in our values. So the coordinates of our midpoint is going to be XA plus XB. Well, XA is 5, the x-coordinate of point A, plus XB, which is -9. I'm actually just going to put in -9. Saves us having to put plus the negative. And then we divide by 2, which basically means just taking the average. The comma, just like we put in a comma to separate our coordinates. YA, which is -7, plus YB, which is 3. -7 plus 3. And again, we divide by 2. And we just solve from there. 5 minus 9 is -4. So we'll have -4 divided by 2. -7 plus 3, -4 again. And -4 divided by 2 is -2. So our midpoint, if we've done it correct, should be -2, -2. Right there. We'll call that M. And again, I'll write in the coordinates. And just to check it, it's always a good idea to check our answer. We can kind of just do it visually here. So I'll go to our 2 points, connect our line. What we notice is that, for one, the point -2, -2 is right on the line. That's a good sign. And visually, we can see it certainly appears to be halfway. And it would be. So that's it. Using the midpoint. Very simple. Thanks for watching.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.